Hey everybody, it's Bree, and oh man, I have been thinking about how to do this video for a really long time, and what to say and what I want to talk about. And it was finally this last week, I went to a retreat with the Unique Foundation for women who are adult survivors of child sexual abuse. And I decided that it's finally time for me to speak up and say something and to use my voice for good. I was abused. I was sexually abused as a little girl when I was younger than 5. And it was hard. Obviously, that was not a great thing that happened. But tonight, I'm doing this video because I know that when people speak up, it gives other people permission to do so as well. And I might have a friend or a follower or a cousin or an aunt or an uncle or somebody that could have been affected by this as well. And there's a lot of myths out there about sexual abuse, about how it happens and who it happens to. And after spending the past 2 years researching this subject very in-depth and developing curriculum to be taught in schools to help with prevention, I want to help bust some of those myths. So, myth number 1, it only happens to girls. It happens a lot more often than you guys think. Every 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 6 boys will be sexually abused before their 18th birthday here in the United States. That's crazy. That is such a high number. And it's estimated that over 300,000 kids are sexually abused in the United States every single year. Now, of the people that are abused, 23% of their perpetrators are their parents, 25% are other relatives, and 52% are non-relatives. I'm not making this stuff up, guys. When I was little, I was taught stranger danger, that don't talk to strangers, be afraid of the ice cream man or the weird neighbor or anybody in a creepy white van that offers you candy. But over 90% of perpetrators are in the child's circle of trust. It's someone that kid knows. It's someone that they see on a regular basis. Over half of perpetrators are relatives. So if it's not a relative, and if it's not a stranger, then it's someone that they know. It's a babysitter, or a teacher, or someone that goes to church with them. This is something that's happening, and it happens everywhere with everyone. Now, I want to give you guys some tools. If somebody comes to you, so if your kid comes up to you and they tell you that something has been happening, there's a couple things that you need to know. First of all, don't react this way. Don't react with shock or anger or disgust. That's not going to help them. A lot of times perpetrators try and shame kids and they tell them that it was their fault or that they deserved it or that they were doing something wrong and that's why this happened to them. So don't freak out. Try and stay calm. Try and be supportive. Try and love them. Don't interrogate them. Don't ask for details. I hate when I tell someone that this happened to me and the first thing they ask is, well, who was it? What happened? Tell me all about it. As if I need to paint some really entertaining story for them. Don't ask for details. Believe them. Believe what they say. Don't try and second guess what they're saying. They don't have any reason to lie about that. And tell them that it's not their fault. It doesn't matter what they did or what happened before. No one deserves to be abused. Nobody ever deserves that. What you can do, validate them, support them, and then go get help. It doesn't matter how young they were when it happened. You don't forget. If things like this happen when your brain is developing and it's forming, it changes the neural pathways. It changes the literal structure of your brain. And it will not function the same way as someone that did not have this traumatic experience, as someone that didn't go through this. So go get help. Go get professional help. If you don't know how to validate someone, here's a really simple way. You just say, hey, I'm so sorry that happened to you. And then ask them how you can support them. Ask them what you can do to help them feel better and to help them move forward. If you want to help prevent sexual abuse, you got to start talking to your kids. Start talking to people around you. I know it's hard. I know it's scary. And I thought for a long time about what to say before I decided to go live. But it's so important that we talk about it, that we start talking about some of these tough issues. Teach your kids body ownership. Let them know that their body belongs to them and they get to choose what happens to them. Tell them that they can say no. If something does not feel comfortable to them, they don't have to go along with it. Don't force them to hug relatives. Teach them that they can choose what happens to them. That it's okay to say no, even to grown-ups, because they're in charge of their body. And that if anybody ever tries to hurt them, that you guys don't keep secrets. Sorry, that one's upside down. Don't keep secrets. A lot of times predators will try and tell kids, don't tell anybody, this is our special little secret. Let your kids know that they can always talk to you and have open conversations with them to prove that fact. Have open conversations with them regularly. Don't make sex this big taboo, scary thing. I know it's not comfortable. It's not comfortable to talk to your 4-year-old about it, but you need to. Predators will look for kids that don't have information and that don't have a big support system. This doesn't just happen overnight. They know who they're looking for, and then they take time to make sure that that kid is not going to talk. If you have open, honest conversations with your kids, and if you ask them what is going on in their life, if anybody makes them feel uncomfortable, how they're feeling, if anybody's hurting them, then you're going to be able to find out. Have these open, honest, sometimes scary conversations. Those are the most important ones. You need to be the safe place for that kid. Now, the good news is I have done a lot of research on this, and I want to help save some people some time. So here are some of the things that you can do to get help if you have been abused. CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, that's what most people do. So when you hear therapy, you think of sitting on a couch and telling some random person everything that's ever happened to you. That doesn't always work with trauma, because again, it has changed the way that your brain works. So one of the best things that works for trauma, it's a best practice for PTSD, is EMDR, this one right here. It's eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, and it helps your brain get back to the way that it's supposed to be. So if you know somebody that has been affected by abuse, or if you have, then tell them to look for a therapist that does EMDR, that specializes in EMDR. They are the ones that can help you with your trauma. There's other things, there's other forms of therapy that aren't just talk. Look for trauma-sensitive yoga. They have trauma-sensitive martial arts that help you learn how to be empowered and how to move in your body again. Look for a support group, other people that have been through this. It's so validating to know that you're not alone, that there are other people that understand and that can help you. There is help available out there. There are so many things that you can do to get help and to find hope. And that's the biggest thing I want to share tonight. If something like this has happened to you, don't be afraid to speak up. You can be one with courage. You can open up. You can share your story. And maybe together we can shed some light on this terrible topic and take away some of the secrecy and the shame that fuels this and that keeps people in the dark and keeps people in hiding and makes them feel like they're dirty or bad or afraid or ashamed. And if this has happened to you, it's not the end. Not all hope is lost. There are still amazing things. There are still wonderful things available to you. And there are ways that you can get help, and there are people that will support you. If you guys have any questions, I don't want this to go on and on and on forever, because I know that videos can just drag on. But if you guys ever have any questions, if you ever need support, if you ever need somebody there for you, I know so much about this. I know so much. If you're worried about your kid and you don't know what the signs are, message me, comment on here. I'll let you guys know how you can recognize suspected sexual abuse. And again, just tonight, I challenge you, go talk to your kids, go talk to your grandkids, talk to your nieces, to your nephews, to your cousins, to your neighbors' kids. This needs to be a topic. This needs to be something that we're talking about so that we can break the silence, break the shame. And I challenge each and every one of you to be one with courage and to join the fight against child abuse. Okay, thanks for watching. Thanks for helping me feel a little brave. And go take that challenge. Go talk to somebody. Go let them know what they can do to help stop this.